Hey everyone at Oaklawn Baptist, we're Ethan and Kimberly with the Phoenix Alliance.
Hey, we're coming to you today from our podcasting desk because this is where our camera and microphones are.
Yep, we wanted to introduce ourselves and just tell you a little bit about our ministry.
Yeah, so we run currently a home in Thailand with about 37 girls, not all in the home, but they are in from age 8 to 20. Some of the kids are in our home, some of them are in school or vocational college, they're in school dormitories, things like that. Most of them were rescued from trafficking in KTV bars or prostitution in brothels.
Yeah. So we were overseas for a time working in that home, but we felt God calling us to work in our own country. And so we came back to the U.S. We're originally from Boise, actually.
We have friends that are engaged in anti-trafficking in the Boise area. And what we found is that the need was not quite as great there. So we started praying and looking for a place that had a greater need and less provision.
Yeah, and we settled on North Carolina. It just so happens to be geographically right in the center between New York and Miami, and also it's number 6 on the
National Trafficking Hotline.
Yes.
Which means that there's a lot of trafficking cases. It's not the only indicator, but it just means that North Carolina's got a pretty significant issue.
So through 2019, that was when we were kind of getting established as a ministry, moving cross-country, setting up a home here in North Carolina, and building a lot of those relationships that we needed.
Yeah, and establishing our 501c3 and building our board, and just doing all of those things to lay the foundation for our USA ministry and for the foundation that we needed to continue running the Thailand ministry, because we started that while we were overseas. So we had to get our U.S. structure and everything in. And
it was about January of 2020 that we were able to start working with kids here in North Carolina, and we started at the juvenile detention centers.
Right. We started in January, and we were able to go up until COVID kicked us out around March. And in that time, we identified over 20 girls in the system that were actually trafficking victims. That were identified as the state as being, quote, involved in prostitution. By the letter of the law, those are actually trafficking victims as minors. All of them had an older boyfriend or someone else in their life, someone else in their life that was profiting off of their exploitation.
And these kids were incredibly open to hearing about Christ, and for us, we were just able to share our faith so easily. I wish that we had been able to stay longer. If COVID hadn't kicked us out, I think we would have started to see some really amazing stories coming out of that. But we have seen some in Thailand. One that we were just talking about recently was one of our girls who was actually brought out of a massage parlor in Thailand when she was only 12 years old. Her parents had been divorced when she was 8, and she had just really been longing for a family, and she found that family in Christ. So that was just, one of our recent stories that brought us a lot of joy to hear about her story of faith. Yeah,
we have a lot of those stories, and hopefully we'll be able to share more of those with you at some point. But we just wanted to tell you a little bit about our goals for this year. We have 2 major goals that we're trying to achieve this year. One domestically and one overseas. So for here, in addition to continuing to expand our work in juvenile facilities, we're also in the process of planning and raising money for our first major home project in the U.S. as a transitional home for kids that are aging out of the foster care system.
Yeah, we've found through research and just working with the foster care people in that field that is just such a critical time when they're getting out on their own and they don't have the support from a family. They don't really have anyone helping to show them Christ in their lives. And so we really want to get in there and help be a positive influence to kids in that age group and just give them a little bit of a fighting chance.
Yeah, it's a really vulnerable time of life.
And our second big goal for this year is to build up our scholarship fund in Thailand, because a lot of our girls over there, they've missed years of school, and we want to help them find a place where they can make a living for themselves. We want to help them go back to school if that's what they want to do. If they want to continue working, we want to be able to help them go to a trade school, vocational college. So that's something we really want to be able to build up that fund so we can always say yes when we get a girl into our care to helping her.
Right. And these things for us are just the beginning. We've got a ton that we could talk about, but we're trying to keep the video short. So yeah, we hope to see you guys soon. Maybe get a chance to talk to you. Ask us any questions at any time. info@thephoenixalliance.org is a great, easy thing to remember if you want to just shoot us a question or just talk to us for whatever reason.
Yeah. So we thank you so much for your interest in our ministry and for being a part of our team.
All right. Sounds good. We'll talk to you guys soon.